Okay, so disclaimer. Uh, I like when I find something that 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 intrigues me. Uh, I get all emotional and happy about it. So, what I want to talk about is this. First, the disclaimer: I'm not saying, I'm not insinuating that this is exactly how Mr. George Orwell uh, wrote it. That this is actually what he meant. That's not what I'm saying. This is my take on certain parts of the book 1984, and therefore, uh, anything that I say is again just my interpretation. But having said that, let me just go ahead and take you through the process and uh, what what I feel. What I feel again for me, what I feel to be a fact, and then I'm gonna show you what made me think that way. So um, there's a shop where that you can even argue that started everything because that's where Winston bought the book. I'm saying the Notebook that pretty much started it all, right? His descent, like, and then his descent, like his going off the reservation, and in his radicalization. Oh dear Lord! And I'm gonna keep this just so you can see how much that this is raw and this is not live, but definitely radicalization. How the fuck radicalization? That doesn't sound right. The word is radical. Radicalization. They're radicalizing. Man, that does not sound right. So whatever. That's 2 minutes is the max. So there are some things that most people would agree with me, and then there's some points, probably one specific, maybe more than one, where people are just like, nah, you're reaching. I don't believe you. But again, that's what this is for. If we can go ahead and get something out of this, then by all means, today was a good day, right? So my point, my thesis is that the shop was actually a part of the system. It was what I would call a honey trap. Obviously, I'm not coining the phrase; it was already out there, but I definitely feel. Just think about it. In a totalitarian state, uh, 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 in a totalitarian state, scarcity is engineered, right? Because scarcity keeps people dependent on the state. And again, I always like these because if you think about it, I mean, it just analyzes how many of the statements that I say or that I'm gonna say in this video can be applied to how we're living right now. Just think about that. Scarcity in totalitarian states, in systems that need power to thrive and to maintain their relevance, uh, scarcity is engineered because scarcity creates dependence, and obviously the uh, 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 systems of power need your dependence. Uh, they hate autonomy. They hate free thinking people. So let's not digress. Scarcity creates behavior. People need things they cannot get through official channels, and this is where I start. So there are certain things for the party members that they need because they need to keep themselves groomed because the party demands it, but at the same time, they don't give them access to razors and shoelaces. What the items are irrelevant. They could might as well be cookies and chocolate chip or whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is that scarcity is created and then just happen and then just coincidentally there's these types of shops because I don't think there's just one. One is talked about the most, the one that we're gonna go ahead and dissect, but there's more than one. So these types of shops are created where party members can go and obtain these articles that would not be obtainable through legal channels. One. Um, Now, the statement that's gonna probably get a lot of uh, unwanted, a lot of pushback is this. I sincerely feel that when again the shop, I believe it's a honey trap, and that's what it is to me. But moving forward, I feel that the notebook itself, might have, this is 100% my interpretation, might have actually been created by the propaganda machine, the department of whatever, what would it be? The the Ministry of Truth, because they're the ones in charge of propaganda. But just, I mean, just think about it. How unlikely is it? Everything is engineered, everything is manufactured. Why? Because they need to be able to control what we see, because what we see determines how how we see our reality, or what reality we see, because obviously there's more than one type of reality is just the way we perceive, the way we interpret any given event. So obviously if they're able to fog the way that we interpret those through our emotions, then obviously they would be able to control the way we interpret that reality. So I'm already digressing. So I definitely feel that that notebook, it's not far fetched that that notebook was actually manufactured by them. The person running the shop, I don't remember his name, the owner was an actual informer. The room on top of that is actually under surveillance. Now, again, people, if you haven't read the book, obviously this doesn't make any sense. But I mean, is this not the actual definition of a honey trap? The owner of the shop is an informer. The room upstairs is actually under surveillance. That's, I think, more than enough proof to state. And moving forward, I feel that in totalitarian states, everything needs to be controlled. Every aspect of society needs to be controlled. And I would I mean I would see it as like this, there being like an inner circle where the most zealot, the zombies, the ghosts, the people that eat propaganda for fucking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they just swallow that shit like give me more, all these lies, and whatever the fuck the party wants them to believe, they'll believe it. Uh, and then that's one. And then you start you start seeing these. Uh, that's the inner circle, and then we start moving away from that inner circle, uh, and then there's some other the outer circles that are created by different types of dissenters, the most basic ones. And again, this is why I fucking love 1984. This can be said the same way about real life. Who are the people? Uh, the most basic way to control a human being is through their vices, right? And I think that is why the party again is able to produce what was it called, victory, or it was something like alcohol, victory gin, and victory cigarettes, I think. My point is that as these type of vices, I believe are given to the first outer rings, where uh, for the people that are starting to awaken, they're not able to pinpoint, they're not able to put a finger on what it is. They don't have any structured political ideology, they're not anti anything, they're just they don't feel right. Something doesn't feel right, even though they're not able to put it into words. So for them, the party only needs to keep them busy enough where they don't take the time to be able to find out what it is that's not wrong. They know that something's wrong, but because they don't have any political ideologies, they don't really have any route to go. There's just, I don't feel right. Something feels off, and then because of those biases, that's as far as they go. And then you have these other outer walls, other outer rings, and then the further it is from that inner circle, the more complicated the dissenter is. That's why they have these, uh, because they understand that they have these ideological dissenters. They have these intellectuals, these for different types of people. And I feel I strongly feel I feel strongly about this. I mean, the shop became a place where people step outside normal party life. Normal. If I wanted to identify a dissent, this is exactly the place that I would watch. They create, they create scarcity. They create these places where that scarcity uh, can be attended, and then they put informers in that shop. Now, was the shop merely a coincidence? I don't believe so. I honestly do not. I believe that it was a mechanism for finding people who are already beginning. This is what I'm saying. The party doesn't create the centers. It's not about that. It's about them understanding that even through all, even, I mean, they can have the most sophisticated brainwashing techniques. They're always going to be somebody that just isn't just is just incapable of eating their lives for whatever reason. This is not this is not a psychology a lesson, and I'm not a behavioral psychologist or sociologist. I wouldn't be able to understand why some people are just harder to brainwash than others. But there's always going to be those people that are just fucking built wrong from here. So they obviously create controlled openings that reveal who those dissenters are. Now, obviously, my this is only my interpretation. I'm not claiming to be this 100%. But I would love for you to tell me how far I am. Am I lost? Am I just wishful thinking? I mean, one, feedback. Two, I'm actually doing this behind a paywall on my coffee account. I'm reading one or two pages from the book 1984. This is kind of where this is kind of where I am reading right now. This part. So I mean, you can start watching them for $5 a month. Me for that. For those $5 you get access to 8 articles a month on my coffee account. 8 articles a month, and these types of and this series 1984 series, which I feel that is more than enough value for $5 monthly. So yeah, I would definitely urge you to come check my coffee account. I have uploaded about 60 articles. About I just published an ebook the day before yesterday. Those were for the other tiers. For example, the $10 tier gives you access to a free ebook whenever they're available. Normally they cost $10 each. So you get the free ebook, you get free videos, access to free videos, not just in this series, because this is the only series that's available to the $5 tier one, just to provide value. So definitely come check out my account on coffee.com/dissonant logic.